And welcome back. We are now joined by Putnam County Commissioner John Schlumbohm. And I guess this time of the year is always a good time to start thinking about maintenance of ditches and drainage and all of those agricultural related areas, because this is kind of a downtime for farmers and a good time for you as commissioners to get things done.
Yep. Yeah, getting work lined up. I don't know how many people realize it, but ditches fall under the county auspice. We're tasked with maintaining those. Farmers come in with problems. Right now, we're getting almost all of our ditches turned into what we call maintenance projects. In other words, they don't have to petition them each time they need work done on their ditches. Basically, if a farmer wants his ditch improved, if it is under maintenance, that's a pretty easy thing. He comes in, he visits the engineer's office and fills out a little form, and if it's on maintenance, they can just go out and take care of it. If it's not on maintenance, they have to do what's called a petition, where a farmer will sign that, maybe get a neighbor or somebody else with drainage into that issue, into that ditch that has issues with it, and then it goes through a process where we have to have a viewing, we have to go out and look at the ditch, and then we have a first hearing where farmers can come in, and not just farmers, anybody that drains into it. They come in, we discuss it, we decide it needs to be updated. Our engineer will take that under their belt and they will do the engineering on it. If it has to be dug deeper, if it has to be straightened, if we need what's called riprap, which is rocks, if we need those piled up on some curves to keep it from eroding. And then once the engineering's done, then we bring it back for final hearing and vote on whether the cost of the project is worth the improvement. Typically it is. And so then we move forward by hiring a contractor, and then the cost of that project is borne by all the people in that drainage that goes into that ditch. So it's not something that the whole county pays for, just the people that use it. And so it's rather lengthy process, and I had no idea that it was that much involved when I took on this job, but I've learned quick.
I know for most folks that are driving down a county road, or even a highway for that matter, you think as a driver, if you're not involved with agriculture, that's just where the water runs off the highway. But the farmers have all of their fields ditched. They might even have a grass waterway where that water or runoff is then trying to make its way to a ditch. So that ditch serves a lot of different purposes.
Yeah, it does. And honestly, most of the ditches in Putnam County aren't natural. They were slight depressions in the swamp, and they used those then to dig them deeper to drain the swamp. I think people need to realize this was all swamp area at one time, and that's one of the reasons the dirt is so good. It's such good, rich farm ground, is because it was swampland. But then that swampland had to be drained, and so they would use places that were a little bit lower and started a major river like our Blanchard River in Putnam County, and they would dig those ditches back, keep going upstream and keep draining more and more land, and pretty soon they had acres they could farm, and they cut down all the trees, and so now the water gets there quicker, and we have to maintain that drainage for the farmers.
And if your county is much like others, your ditches are not tiled. They're just simply cut down low, and the water just naturally runs through those, right?
That's correct. That's correct. And then when the farmer does put the tile in his field, underground tile, subterranean tile, I think it'd be a good term, then those flow into the ditch. And consequently, then the ditch water goes to a river, which goes to a bigger river and ends up in Lake Erie.
Okay, all good things to know, and we certainly thank you for your time to keep the folks in Putnam County as aware as possible as to what you and the other commissioners are handling at this time. I know you had a great county fair season, and let's just hope that the rains continue to come so that those ditches can work and the farmers can get their crops.
That's right. That's right.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Thanks, John, for your time, and we'll be back with more right after this.